Sometimes love feels like a warm hand on your back, gently pushing you toward your purpose. Other times it feels like invisible chains, quiet discouragement, subtle doubt, a heavy silence when you speak about your dreams. The truth is, not everyone who says I love you is ready to watch you rise. Some will cheer for you in private. Others will smile while secretly hoping you stay the same, because your growth threatens their comfort. In relationships, support isn't about words, it's about energy. You can feel when someone is for you, and you can feel when they're quietly holding you back. It's in how they react when you talk about your goals. It's in whether they celebrate your progress or compete with it. It's in whether they push you to grow or make you feel guilty for wanting more. Real love doesn't dim your light, it fans it. It doesn't say, don't change, it says, I'll grow with you. The people meant for you will never be intimidated by your dreams. They'll be inspired by them. They'll remind you who you are when you forget. They'll help you stay focused when you're tired. They'll protect your vision when the world tries to cloud it. But sometimes, the person you love becomes the one quietly holding you back. Not because they hate you, but because your growth reminds them of their own stagnation. When you start to change, it forces them to confront the parts of themselves they've ignored. And instead of rising with you, they pull you down, not out of malice, but out of fear. You'll notice it in small ways. They'll downplay your achievements. They'll call your ideas unrealistic. They'll make you feel guilty for being ambitious. They'll say things like you've changed, when really you've just evolved. They might not say it directly, but their energy will tell you, your dream makes me uncomfortable. That's when you have to decide, do I shrink to make them comfortable, or do I rise and hope they rise with me? Because love built on limitation will always suffocate you. You can't fulfill your purpose while constantly apologizing for your light. The truth is, not everyone is meant to go where you're going. Some people were perfect for the version of you that didn't know better. But once you start to heal, once you start to grow, once you start to dream bigger, you outgrow the environments that once felt safe. Growth will cost you relationships that refuse to grow too. It's painful, yes, especially when you love someone deeply. But love without freedom is a cage. If being with them means silencing your purpose, you're not in love, you're in captivity. Support in a relationship doesn't mean agreement all the time. It doesn't mean they understand every detail of your dream. It means they trust your vision even when they don't see it clearly. It means they give you room to try, to fail, to learn, to become. It means they believe in your why even when they don't yet understand your how. When someone truly supports you, their love feels like peace. It doesn't feel like walking on eggshells. It doesn't feel like explaining your worth over and over. It feels like being seen, fully and without judgment. You can talk about your plans, your fears, your next steps, and instead of rolling their eyes, they lean in. They listen. They ask how they can help. They see your potential and treat it as something sacred. But if you're with someone who constantly questions your dreams, who mocks your ambition, who compares you to others or dismisses your progress, you need to pay attention. Because love without encouragement is slow poison. It kills your confidence quietly. It makes you doubt yourself. It makes you lower your standards, settle for less, and stop reaching for more. Some people don't want to see you fail, but they also don't want to see you rise too high. They love you as long as your success doesn't surpass their comfort. They love the you that needs them, not the you that can stand alone. And that's where you must be careful, because when your purpose and your relationships start pulling in opposite directions, you have to choose the one that keeps you alive. If they're truly for you, they'll push you to chase the dream. They'll challenge you to do better. They'll correct you when you lose focus, not with jealousy, but with love. They'll remind you that you're capable, talented, and deserving of more. They'll remind you that you were born for something bigger. Support also shows up in how they handle your failures. Anyone can love you when you're winning. But pay attention to how they treat you when you fall. Do they shame you? Do they mock your effort? Or do they pick you up, remind you of your strength, and help you try again? Sometimes, the most dangerous kind of unsupportive love isn't loud, it's silent. It's indifference. It's the person who never asks how your project is going, who forgets your milestones, who scrolls past your wins, who never says, I'm proud of you. That silence can hurt more than any insult. If you're listening to this, maybe you've already started to feel that quiet resistance. You sense their energy shift when you talk about what excites you. You feel the tension when you succeed. You notice that their love feels heavier now, less freeing. That's not your imagination. That's your spirit recognizing that the connection is starting to limit your growth. Don't ignore it. The longer you stay in spaces where you have to minimize yourself, the smaller your dreams become. You start believing that you're asking for too much, when in reality, you're just surrounded by people who offer too little. It's not selfish to want a partner who supports your purpose. It's essential. You're not meant to build your dream alone. You're meant to share it with someone who understands that your light doesn't compete with theirs, it complements it. Two people can shine at once. In fact, the right love makes both lights brighter. You'll know you're with the right person when you start dreaming bigger, not smaller. When their presence feels like fuel, not friction. When being around them awakens your best ideas. When you feel more yourself, not less. Love should expand you. It should make you feel like you can breathe deeper, think clearer, and reach higher. If love feels like walking on a leash, that's not love, that's control. Sometimes you'll have to make a hard choice. You'll have to walk away from someone who once felt like home, simply because they no longer fit where you're going. You'll cry, you'll doubt, you'll grieve. But later, when you're standing in the light of your fulfilled purpose, you'll realize that letting go was an act of love too, love for yourself. And maybe, someday, they'll grow too. Maybe they'll heal their fears and learn to support someone else fully. But in this season, you owe it to yourself to be surrounded by people who water your growth, not people who are secretly praying for your roots to stay shallow. The right partner won't compete with your calling. They'll complement it. They'll help you stretch, not shrink. They'll remind you of your greatness when you forget. They'll understand that love isn't about possession, it's about partnership. So take a moment and ask yourself, does this person support my dreams, or are they holding me back? Do I feel lighter with them, or heavier? Do I feel encouraged, or quietly controlled? Because love that holds you back isn't love, it's fear wearing the mask of affection. And if you don't recognize it early, it will drain your purpose until you start believing that mediocrity is peace. Don't settle for love that demands you to shrink. Find love that lets you expand. Love that stretches your soul and calls you higher. Love that stands beside your dream, even when it doesn't benefit from it directly. Because when two people truly support each other's growth, they don't just build a relationship, they build an empire. They create a love so rooted in purpose that nothing can shake it. And if you have someone like that, cherish them deeply, celebrate them. Remind them often that their belief in you keeps your dream alive. Because when two people truly support each other's growth, they don't just build a relationship, they build an empire. They create a love so rooted in purpose that nothing can shake it. And if you have someone like that, cherish them deeply, celebrate them. Remind them often that their belief in you keeps your dream alive. But if you don't be brave enough to outgrow what no longer grows with you, you'll be lonely for a while, but you'll be free. And from that freedom, you'll find new love, one that celebrates your dreams as much as your presence, because real love doesn't hold you back. It says, go, fly, become everything you're meant to be. And when you do, they'll be there, clapping proud and unafraid of your light. If this message spoke to your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who's fighting for their purpose in love. Like this video and subscribe to Shalom Kidd's Love Garden, where we talk about love that heals, love that grows, and love that lets you become your highest self.